My name is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent. Welcome to my YouTube channel, the home of the 5-minute or less video. I appreciate you listening today. Just a little about me before I start. I have worked at IRS for a decade. I've been in private practices for 4 decades. I've worked probably over 10,000 cases easily. I'm a national expert in IRS matters, and I have a whole firm that deals with any IRS problem in fact you have. So today I want to talk to you. What the hell am I talking today? But how about reducing your IRS debt? I wrote it. I just want to make sure I get this all. People are asking all the time, how can you reduce your IRS debt? It's a good question. Most people, when they call me, they want to abate penalties and interest. It's the first thing people do, very natural. But I know there isn't a magic wand like this. You just go, shh, go away, penalties and interest. That just does not happen. If you do want to abate your penalties interest, you must have a reasonable cause, a solid reasonable cause. IRS probably maybe abates about 3 or 4% of all the requests that go in. If you want to know if you have a chance, you can call me privately or separately, but you got to remember, you have to have a solid reason. The reasonable causes are found on my website at 777irs.com. I think there's a link to it. But if you don't have a solid reason and you don't have the documentation for it, you're wasting your time. And don't go giving your money to anybody to reduce it. Like you're in a hospital, you had a flood, something happened, and you really couldn't pay the tax and you couldn't file. That's solid reasons. You have to be able to document your reasons or don't bother. But abatements of penalties are one way, in fact, to reduce your tax. The second way is you can reduce it by having the 10-year statute of limitations expired, and boom, all of it goes away. So IRS goes ahead and has a statute of limitations for 10 years. At the end of that 10 years, barring anything you did to extend the statute, like bankruptcy, litigation, offer and compromise, CDP, if you've done those, it extends it for some time. It doesn't mean it doesn't go away. 10 years may go to 11 years and a half or something, but at some point in time, the debt will go away if you've done nothing or IRS just didn't try to do anything. The number one way to reduce your debt is the debt forgiveness program, which is called the offer and compromise. I used to work the offer and compromise program at IRS. I used to sign off on them. I used to accept them, used to deny them. I was a teaching instructor for IRS to teach revenue officers what to do when they got an offer in compromise. There's a very specific formula for the offer and compromise. Some of my other videos talk about it, but those are the only 3 ways you're going to reduce your debt. If you start calling around to different companies, you're probably going to get in trouble because you're not going to be speaking to you're going to be speaking to salespeople, not like former agents, IRS attorneys, CPAs, enrolled agents, people who know what they're doing. If you call around and try to find someone, make sure you know the credentials of the person. If not, chances are you're going to be ripped off, and there is a lot of fraud and rip-off artists really in this business. So remember, how are you going to get rid of your penalties? By abatement, by statute going away, or the offer and compromise. I want to just tell you one thing about the offer and compromise. All your tax returns have got to be filed. You've got to be current in the year you're in. That means your estimate payments or your withholding has to be up to date. And you must offer your total liquidity in all your assets. On the financial statement, if you show IRS your financial statement and you have $100,000 worth of liquidity in your assets, they discount your home 20%. You cannot settle your debt for any less than that 100,000. IRS wants the full value of your liquidity, or the debt is not going to go away or be discharged by Internal Revenue Service. I should add one more thing that I forgot. You can file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy and wipe out your debt in the Chapter 7. There's 3 rules to go ahead and wipe your debt. Stream is freezing. In the Chapter 7, the taxes have got to be 3 years or older, filed for at least 2 years, and they've got to be assessed for 240 days. That's the other way to go ahead, not only reduce your debt, but wipe them out, and you have to go into a bankruptcy. Once again, in a Chapter 7 bankruptcy proceeding, the taxes have got to be 3 years or older, filed for 2 years, and assessed for 240 days. Those are the 4 rules to go ahead and reduce your tax debt. Thank you. This information was helpful. Give me a subscription. YouTube values those, so do I. I'd love for you to do that. If you have an idea for a YouTube or say something you don't like me or something, leave a comment, give me a like. But we are available for representation and a consultation. Have a good one. I just told you the truth. Anyone tells you any different than I, they're lying or don't know what they're doing. Thank you.